Glenn, it's time for Storm Watch. I thought you were going to join me down here in the first hurricane of the season.
No, I'm a little bit wiser than that. I don't want to sit outside with my computer.
Oh, wait, this wasn't a weather show?
No, I think you got the wrong invite.
Oh, oh, dang. All right, well, one second. All right, let's get rid of this. All right, that's one. That's really one. All right,
There you go.
everybody, welcome to the inaugural episode of Storm Watch. I will let Glenn introduce himself first.
Yeah, so my name is Glenn Thorpe. I am the Senior Director of Security Research and Detection Engineering at Gray Noise.
And my name is Bob Rudis. I'm VP of what we're going to be calling Gray Noise Labs, but that's a preview cut that you don't know about. Gray Noise Labs is like overarching term for the detection engineering group, the security research group, and the data science group at Gray Noise. And Glenn is part of that group.
Absolutely.
So this is Stormwatch, and the whole idea of this is starting next week. Although we might show some things today, we just want to show folks, hey, this is what's going on the internet. Is we sort of have our finger on the pulse of that. And I think Glenn wants to talk about some things from the CISA KEV list. We'll explain what KEV is for folks who don't know what that is. And please feel free to drop comments. We'll try to answer whatever questions you have live. And this will also be available as a recorded episode at some point down the road, too. So then, why don't you talk a little bit about maybe the group that we run at Gray Noise and how that plays into what everyone sees at Gray Noise when they visit visit.graynoise.io.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Gray Noise, welcome. Happy to have you here. We operate essentially a very large honeypot network and collect that data. And Bob and data science team do extreme amount of compute around the data science of that data that we get in. So that gives us some really cool vantage points just based on the scale of the honeypot network, and allows us to kind of see what's happening on the internet in an unsolicited manner, which is the key portion or the key point for a lot of our data. Is these things are just thrown up and they're not to be known about, but they are found and discovered, and then that's how we start collecting that data. So what you'll see is we get a lot of, again, unsolicited data, which allows us to see what attackers and networks and scanners and stuff are up to on an average day. And then we can kind of put on the noise canceling headphones for internet traffic, remove what's happening all the time, and find the outliers, the abnormality, and report back for our users and customers. So we do that through tags. So once Bob's team and group go through and kind of do the data science magic to the stuff, we're able to pull out data that creates tags, and then we can see like, oh, this ruckus wireless vuln is being exploited from last week, or maybe the TP link Archer, etc., and see what's actually happening on the internet in a way that allows folks to prioritize and make actionable decisions based on what we're seeing that's happening.
Yeah, like so for example, on here, this is one of our tags. It's not a recent tag, it's recent-ish, but it's an older vulnerability and it goes back to 2018. And attackers love this one because there's so many Fortinet devices on the internet that they just love to go attack those things, probe those things. And in this case, they're taking advantage of the ability to read arbitrary files on the system that they have there. And you can use something like this, as Glenn was saying, to just kind of see what's happening. Are you curious about this particular one? Do you have Fortinet? This is an example. And then, if depending on what kind of account you have, you can download the IP list. You can automatically block it at your firewall with all sorts of good SOAR rule sets and all the integrations that we have. And it just helps you reduce a bunch of noise in your SOC so you can focus on the things that really matter. So while we focus on the researchy side of those things, you just get to say, I don't care about this noise. I only care about what really I should care about or what I might care about. And then you take kind of the rest of it. I guess, Glenn, from your perspective, since you're a relatively new acquisition at Grimace, what have you found to be the most useful parts of our platform, or for the research that we perform and kind of the places that we touch or the things that we look out for. I think in particular, maybe SysACAV and maybe explain what that is and like why you care about that, how it works with gray noise, why we care about Kev, and some things you've learned about Kev recently.
Yeah, so CISA is the known exploited vulnerabilities list that CISA, of course, puts out or owns, and the updates to that Cov list aren't not on a scheduled basis. They are as information is demonstrated to them, usually through partners, and we partner with CISA. We have a good relationship with them, and it's the foundation of it is a an authoritative source to say like this XYZ is being exploited in the wild, and it also has some juice attached to the back of it for federal agencies with a deadline to remediate for these vulnerabilities by a certain date. Now, the application of those deadlines applies to a very specific sector of of users. However, organizations also benefit by this information again by knowing what is actually happening. So if we think about like all of the work that our security practitioners in different organizations have to do, it's all about prioritization because we're never going to have enough people, we're never going to have enough resources, etc. So anything that helps prioritize remediation or mitigation even is a step in the right direction for defenders. And that's also a big core of gray noise business. Bob hinted at it earlier around we want to be able to help people manage their time better, and part of that is telling people what not to worry about. Like gray noise cares as much about telling people what not to worry about as what to worry about when you're looking at firewall logs or IP sources, etc. And so there was, I think, in the last 14 days, there's been two updates to Kev. And the interesting thing about Kev is it doesn't have to be new vulnerabilities. Like in the past two updates, or no, sorry, in this month, in the month of May, there's been 17 new additions to Kev, and only 8 have been a recent CVE. None of the 17 added this month were from 2022, and 2 were from 2021, and 7 were 2020 or prior. So yeah, like this one's from Friday, and it's a 2004
2004. What the heck?
Cisco Vuln. Yeah, yeah. So like, we have these arguments of, or not arguments, but articles and discussions around people that are saying like, "Hey, you need to patch right away. You need to patch right away." And then sometimes we're like, "Hey, you need to patch every decade, maybe. That'd be great." So
I mean, so well, I love the heck out of Sissa and Kev. I'm one of the biggest Kev proponents out there. I do have to say, like, did they not know this was being exploited before now, given how long it's been around? That's all I'm saying, Glenn. It's a little weird.
yeah, I mean, Kev's been around 2 years. Is that right? November
It's
of
the
21, I think.
November before Log4j is when it kicked off.
Yeah, yeah. So we gotta, yeah. So wait, can we blame Sissa for Log4j
Yes, I
actually?
did. Actually, I did.
Okay, perfect. No, that checks out. Yeah, and like from previous experiences, I mean, they do have a pretty good bar of proving exploitation. I would say, I'd love as researchers, we always want to have more data, more primary source data, more access to that data. So, like we always want to see the proof. Um, but understandably, as a government agency and also with partnerships, they always can't share that proof. So, um, I'm certainly aware that I'll never be satisfied with enough data, but it would be cool to be able to see like why 2004 was added in 2023.
So do you have any tips for folks that are maybe not super familiar with gray noise? Although I don't know how you're watching this particular show if you don't know who gray noise is. But in the event that you don't, like you just happened upon this, you were lonely this morning or evening and you just wanted something to watch, and you happened upon us for some horrible reason. What, Glenn, would you suggest as a good starting place for folks to engage with gray noise?
Yeah, so hit up viz.graynoise.io. And the thing, so our UI, I love our UI, like our themes and colors and style guides, all that. Um, I do really love that. Like, I'm not trying to be biased there, but I will say there are a lot more clickable things on our page than appear. That's the biggest tip that I have picked up on. So, like, you can hit up the trends page there, and here we can see, kind of what's obviously trending. And you can on this top, you can sort by malicious or recent or most active. And essentially, this is telling you, kind of what's changed in the last 24 or so hours. So trending, that Fort iOS, which I don't, is that the one you were showing,
Yeah,
Bob?
that's what I was shooting for, yep.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Or if you hit up most recent, you'll see what's actually changing right now, right? So cross-site scripting, which we added last week for WordPress, but that one's cranking along. And again, it's about prioritization. And ideally, in a dream world, every organization knows what their software inventory is or what their asset inventory is. So if you know that you run WordPress and then you see a WordPress vuln and you're trying to figure out, like, can I wait like till tomorrow maybe to get to this so I can patch Exchange today or something. This is, again, colorful contextual data that can help you there. And then, like I said, everything, there's a lot more clickable things. On the top right, you can see the view tagged IPs, and you can actually see the IPs that we're detecting. And another thing, actually, that I'll throw in that I didn't quite fully um, appreciate when I joined, that I do now, is the thought that, again, and I brought it up earlier on purpose, that this is unsolicited activity. So these sensors are on the internet, minding their own business, and they're found, and then they're being scanned or tried to be attacked. And that's how, like, you might see here, only, like, you might think only two malicious IPs. So, like, this isn't really a big deal. But when you put that in the context of, like, this asset was thrown on the internet, minding its own business, and there's two IPs that have found it and have started trying to exploit this, then that number of two is actually, like, by weight or by power, and actually, a more substantial influence. So I think before I would always think, oh, it's only two, maybe not a big deal, but that two is actually still a big deal because of how we do our sensors.
Yep, and, we have, like, anywhere between 3 to 5,000 IP addresses across the global internet at any given moment in time. They all go to a kind of a sensor core that we use, and we're just showing you, like, the fact that somebody cared about this. You can actually see the volume if you kinda click and go through and dig in. I think you need an account to do that. It's a free thing, so you can grab an
Yeah,
account.
free accounts.
Yeah, but, once you do that, you can get a better idea of what the volume is or what these things are doing. And what Glenn was saying is really interesting too, because if you look at this one, we'll just click on this one. You can see it's doing a lot. Like, this is not a short list of tags that it's hitting. It's not that short. I mean, wow. Okay, it's scrolling. Glenn. This was as you can tell, this was unplanned. Uh, so this is one of those bad botnet network components that's out there. It's just doing whatever it can to go find things, whatever it can. So yeah, this is something you use to see, hey, is there, so I can go through this list of things there, see what this is, and maybe even go check to see if there are similar IP addresses that are doing the same thing. So this is going to load stuff. This is some of the fun data science stuff that Glenn was talking about earlier. And it'll come up in a second because it's actually running a model, going across all of our data, bringing all these IP addresses back into here. And demo guys were actually really on this morning because that actually works. But yeah, I don't know if you can, with the free account, see this one. So, like, if you are an enterprise and you're using this and you haven't actually played with this feature yet, you should give it a shot because now you know that there are like 22 IP addresses that are about the same as this one, and it might suggest that they're part of the same botnet or they're doing similar things as similar botnet members might be doing. And we're going to actually be kicking the button feature up a lot later this year or earlier next year. So we can be able to see lots of data. But you can play around with this and kind of dig in, see what they're doing, how common they are, and maybe use that to have an extended blocking strategy. You can not just block the ones that we tell you for a particular tag, but just block all the IP addresses associated with the activity going on from this one IP address here.
Yeah, like, this IP is obviously one that, like, there's no good here. Like, just block it. Like, you're gonna be fine. Like, all you saw those tags before, And it's it's just such an easy, like, and there's integrations depending on your level of account or whatever. Like, you can integrate with your with automation or SOAR, however that works best for you. And but yeah, if you don't have an account, the we offer free accounts. And I know Bob and I always give Andrew a hard time because we give out a lot of data for free. But hey, that we're all trying to be part of a better internet citizenship.
It's really hard not to though, because the Grey Noise community is one of the I'm biased. I work here, but I think it's one of the best infosec cyber communities out there. Everyone's really engaged. Everyone cares about cleaning up the internet, making sure people know about threats that are happening on the internet. We get lots of great tips from the community as well too. So giving back by letting them have access to data, letting them play with the data, giving us information as a result of that is actually a really win situation for everybody.
Yeah, on that note, partnerships are key for us. So we're always looking to partner with more organizations or more MSSPs or managed providers, and even security researchers. Like, there's a feel good element of, actually, uh, we're all on the same team, even, sometimes competitors. But like, when we're on the defensive side of a major issue, we're all on the same team looking out for the betterment and protection of organizations. So those partnerships are key. We have several, and we'll never have enough. And so, yeah, if that's something that interests you as well, and you're watching this, certainly reach out, and we can chat about what makes sense or what we can do, and help each other out.
Absolutely. So I think we're going to wrap it up for today. The next few episodes are going to be featuring things we've actually seen from the previous week that are kind of
Yeah,
scary, cool, interesting. Uh, Glenn, we might even do some predictions. I don't know. Are you up for that?
sure. Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah, we'll
I love to
see.
be wrong.
You are very good at that too. Just that. And maybe dig into some features that you might not use or might not know exist in the visualizer. And maybe even talk about the API and how you can use that for the command line too, just to show you ways of using Gray Noise that you might not be able to have done before because you didn't know they exist.
Awesome. Well, Bob, this was great.
Cool.
Think we should do it again?
Well, I'm not going to wear the purple rain next time though,
Oh, you
since it's
started
an
off
act.
pretty hard for
Well,
sure.
I thought it was weather, and you kind of lied to me, so that's all right. Cool.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, it's great.
Take care, everybody.
Cheers.